Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're talking about... the second one. Ghostbusters 2. How you doing, Tristan?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Mike?
I have pneumonia.
Yay.
So,
have you ever wondered why the P is silent in pneumonia? Why have a letter if it's just silent? Is the P there for all the phlegm that you cough up?
So is
this has been my stand-up routine. I'll see you next week.
But it's not as funny. Like,
I'm sorry.
What's the joke? I can't think of what the joke is. What's the joke? It's like, why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom?
Because there's no P?
No, the P is silent.
No. I don't know why I said there's no P. I know the answer.
There certainly is a P.
There's a big P because it's at the beginning.
All right, you're getting weird now.
I'm sorry.
This one, outside of our series, our little special series, we haven't really focused on sequels.
Yeah, is this the first
I believe
non-summer special sequel?
I think this is the first special. Let's see. Hold on.
You did Star Wars, and then we did Mission
Star
Impossible.
Wars, which that was its own special.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of those were the first. All of those. Then Mission Impossible. Yeah, this is the first time we've had a sequel.
Welcome to 2025, everybody.
I know. Alrighty, so this was directed by, again, Ivan Reitman, produced by Ivan Reitman, screenwriters Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, distributed by Columbia Pictures. The production company was also Columbia Pictures. Rated PG. This time I would say it shouldn't have been PG simply because of some of the images.
Yeah, there was.
I'm sure we're going to talk about it, but this one was way scarier, quote unquote, than the first one.
Yeah. We'll have to swing back around to that.
Like that pterodactyl. It is a comedy, fantasy, adventure. I'd almost give it like a horror as well. We're just all over the place here. Original language is English. Release date was June 16th, 1989. Mm-hmm. Very, very funny time to have a New Year's picture. Right?
Similar to Die Hard being released in the summer, and it's a Christmas movie.
Right. $25 million budget, grossed in the U.S. $112 million, and actually made its budget on opening weekend. And worldwide, it grossed over $215 million. So, a pretty decent pull. And then I'm sure home movie sales were probably through the roof as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those numbers are not easy to get.
Do you know why they didn't get a third?
Do you have an answer, or are you asking me to guess?
I'm asking if you know.
My assumption would be because it was really, really hard to get this one. Like, this was quite the process to get produced, and we'll talk about that a little bit a little
that
later.
makes sense, yeah.
But I would assume that's probably one of the bigger reasons
Mm-hmm.
why it didn't get a third one.
Yeah. Interesting that, like, with how successful it seems to have been, and looking like now where we have the sort of remake, sort of sequel, plus the two other sequels, like
there was like the remake.
Yeah.
I would call the female-led class probably like a remake.
That's a remake. And then,
the other two, I would think those are technically sequels.
I think the Paul Rudd ones are sequels.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen either of them.
I saw the first one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the second one? Blizzard Kingdom? Winter Ice Kingdom? Kingdom of,
I don't know. The
Kingdom
Frozen
of the
Kingdom?
Yellow Snow? Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire.
What a dumb fucking I'm going to make myself cough and I don't want it. Ghostbusters 2 made more worldwide than Frozen Empire.
Well, there you have it.
On a shoestring budget. Ghostbusters was $25 million budget, which, you know, by today's standard, that would be somewhere around the 60. Let's call it 60 million, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This was $100 million.
The new one?
The new one. That's their budget.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
All right, hold on. Now, Afterlife was the first one, the first newer sequel. Where is it? Let me see how it did. It had a budget of $75 million. Okay, that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense. And it grossed $204 million. Garbage. As far as successful standards of ticket sales goes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not that great. Anyway, moving on.
Recap!
And now we transition into the Recap Rewind, where it gives me an opportunity to push a button where I just yell at you. And it gives someone else an opportunity to read a little recap of the movie. This week, the second week of the year of our Lord 2025, Tristan, it's on you, buddy.
Hello.
I'm going to mute my mic so I don't cough into it as you cough into yours.
Yeah, just clearing my throat. New York doesn't believe in ghosts. That is, everyone but a scientist, a guy obsessed with the occult, a creepball fraud that studies psychics, and a token black guy whose job is to fill in when one of the other three white guys is doing something else. These four working class guys make up the Ghostbusters, an unsanctioned team of weirdos who bust ghosts and butt heads with the government in New York. A lot of activity is happening around the city, and it's all connected to a godlike being trapped in what can be described as another dimension. The godlike ghost has set its sights on Dana Barrett, who calls upon the Ghostbusters to help her figure out what's happening. As ghostly activity escalates around the city, a government suit throws the Ghostbusters into prison right before everything goes crazy. The mayor calls them out of prison and requests their help, and the Busters go to the epicenter of the problem. There's a giant creature mascot that stomps through the city, and after being tossed around a few times, the Busters pull out their proton packs and send the evil back to whence it came. The day is saved, and the city loves them Ghostbusters. And there you have it. Ghostbusters. Wait. Ghostbusters 2. No, hold on. Hold on. Let me check my notes. Ghosts, scientists, the mayor, Dana, a creepy guy that keeps bothering Dana. Yeah. Here, a baby. So here we have it. Ghostbusters 2, Ghost Baby and the Prince of Carpathia. So, Just to recap.
Four busters, a Carpathian, and a baby.
That's good too. So let's just recap. It's 5 years later. The Ghostbusters were sued after saving the city and are not allowed to conduct their work with the paranormal. They have literally become the clown nobody wants at a birthday party. Dana has a baby, but it's not Peter's. There's an argument to be made that the father is that orchestra guy from the first movie, but he ended up just being as bad as we thought he would be, and he left Dana alone with a baby.
He's the real villain of the whole movie.
The guys are basically doing the same thing they did before, but in slightly different areas. And Egon happens to be studying something that is unintentionally exactly what is going to be important to this movie: emotions and the effects on the surrounding environment. That being said, there's something strange in the neighborhood yet again. You'd think it'd be ghosts, given the name of the movie and, the team's occupation, but it's slime. So much slime. Even more slime than there was last time. If we were to just eyeball the estimate of how much there is, I would say there's about 25,000 gallons, but that's really a softball estimate. Don't quote me on that.
When he said that, my first job was at a pool supply store, and I was like, 25,000 gallons is not that much.
It's like that. Yeah. Anyway. So the first movie was mostly ghosts with some slime, and this one is mostly slime with some ghosts. Anyway, there's a big creepy painting that holds the spirit of essentially Rasputin, who wants Dana's baby so he can return to the land of the living and start an era of evil. Somehow Vigo, that's the guy in the painting, makes a bunch of slime appear, or maybe the slime's been there the whole time, but either way, it's growing under the city, feeding off the natural anger of the people of New York. The team figures out how to positively charge the goo by making love to it and some other things. But yeah, Dan Aykroyd has a thing for making love to ghosts or ghost-related substances. Anyway, they positively charge the slime and use it to their advantage. The goo allows inanimate objects to come to life, so they spray it all over the Statue of Liberty to inspire hope in the people of the city, and also break through the slime force field that is formed around the museum where Vigo is. And you know the rest. The Ghostbusters win.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
I mean, the slime is technically paranormal. Like it's a physical. We talked about Dan Aykroyd being weird last time. It's paranormal by Dan Aykroyd standards.
It's residue. It is ghost related. It is not a ghost itself.
True.
But the ghosts do explode out of it.
It is a physical manifestation of
the presence of ghosts.
Yeah. Or like how, because it seemed like Vigo was getting his energy, his life force, if you will,
it was
from the slime.
Yeah.
So there's something there. Also, it's a thing of fiction, so it doesn't have to actually make sense because it's not real. In the same way that ghosts aren't real. Sorry, listener. Dan Aykroyd is wrong. So I'll go ahead and kind of talk about a little bit of why this movie took so long. It took 5 years to make, but it wasn't a production issue. It had a lot to do with personnel. One, Bill Murray became an asshole. He may have always been an asshole, but he definitely became one. He liked the money a lot, and just wouldn't really agree to a particular deal for a long time. Dan Aykroyd, loved the guy, did not have every success. Not everything he put out was successful. And so there was a lot of question on that. And so there was some issues between that core group And then another issue was Columbia Pictures. Columbia Pictures got a new president who just did not want to focus on a sequel. He had a stick up his butt about big budget films. He wasn't really for it. And wanted to focus on, I guess you could say, more mature movies. And then he also put a lot of money into foreign films because he wanted to reach a foreign audience, whatever it might be. Columbia Pictures in the following 3 years after he became president in like 85, 86, had a lot of failures. They did not do good. And so that guy was fired. And David Putnam was the guy who was that the president. He's been in movie executive stuff for like a long time, I believe. But Don Steele was then named president in, I think it was 87. And Columbia Pictures as a whole was immediately like, okay, we need to make something that will make us money. We need a successful movie. So they greenlit Ghostbusters 2 and started going, but there was still a disagreement within the main guys. And so they all happen to be represented by the same person. So that guy put them all in a lunch meeting, and as they spoke, they realized, oh, we actually enjoy working with each other, and we enjoyed talking with each other and doing everything. So why don't we make this movie? And that's how it got started. Dan Aykroyd, of course, worked on the script. Reitman worked alongside him. It took them a little while to get the script put together. Dan Aykroyd had some wild thing where like Dana got kidnapped and was taken to Scotland, where they found these mushroom circles or something like that. And it was basically a portal to an underground city of fairies and witches and this and that and the other.
Oh.
And then he was like, I think maybe Harold Ramis was like, I don't think people are going to get it. And he was like, okay. And so they came back to it. And what's funny about the Ooze as a whole is their joke was literally, what if New York was in trouble and ultimately the solution was just be nice and you'll be okay. And that was kind of the premise of the whole thing. They made the movie. They were able to get Bill Murray on board because all of the main people got a percentage of the box office. So they were going to make their money no matter what.
Right.
Bill Murray was originally wanted reportedly $10 million, which is wacky. Yeah, so that's why it took a long time. As far as the movie production goes, they had a shorter timeline than the first movie did. They got it done in less than a year. All the special effects and everything. And it's very obvious in some of the sections. Because I will say the special effects were not as good in certain aspects than they were in the first one.
There's a real lack of consistency with what the Ooze looks like.
Yeah. Also, just follow through within the actual effect, whatever it may be. So, like, when Winston gets caught in the river and he goes down the river, and then when he goes around the corner, he just turns green.
Does he?
Yeah, because they didn't finish the last frame of it. So it was like, you guys could have fixed that. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a, I feel like I could have figured out how to do that ending, but you just run out of time sometimes. Anyway, so that was the production of it. I say that almost to give it a little bit of leeway.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, what'd you think of the movie?
I discovered why I often get the first and second movie mixed up of the things that happen. Like, I know that Vigo is in the second one, but there's certain things.
Carpathia, the scourge of Lopathia.
Yes, we've heard the scourge. Yeah, there's certain things that happen that, like, my brain just gets them mixed up because it basically follows the same beats.
Yeah.
That the first movie does.
It's A New Hope and Force Awakens. Like, it
rhymes
really tightly. Sometimes it's rhyming the same word.
Yeah.
It's very
I think
Lin-Manuel in its rhyme structure.
If
you don't get that joke, that's a solid joke. To me, that's a very solid joke.
I enjoyed it. I still laugh at it. I think there's still some funny moments.
That's where I would like. I still enjoy it. Here's something I would say. As a whole, it is kind of a copy of, like a carbon copy. You know, where they used to do it, where you would have to fill the form out, and then there were the three. There was the white one, the pink one, and the yellow one. This one's the yellow one of the first one. But I'm also going to give it credit where credit is due. The written jokes in this movie, I think, are better than the first one.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like, the jokes are genuinely a lot funnier than the first. Like, this movie is funnier than the first one.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's ever true of comedy sequels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because usually it's like they can't quite get the same magic that happened the first time around. But this one, I was thinking that as the credits were rolling, it's like, I think this was funnier.
Yeah. And it's done with the charm and the pacing of the actors. Bill Murray, whatever they can say about his personal life, his deliveries are great.
Yeah.
Like,
I liked him more in this movie than the first one.
I thought he was way more charming. I thought they wrote him a lot better.
Yeah. The way that he and Dana interact.
The way he embraced Oscar.
Yeah.
Like, he really, like, he wasn't a jerk. He was genuinely kind to this baby, which in the first one, it really felt like we were searching through a sewer system to find him being genuinely kind to someone.
Yeah.
And it does seem as though he feels at fault for his and Dana's relationship failing.
Mm-hmm.
But then with Oscar put into it, you see him connect to someone else other than Dana in a really positive way. And you're like, did he grow up? I think he grew up.
Yeah. Yeah. When there's the scene where Dana is describing that they're at dinner and she's describing him as like kind and nice. And I was like, I believe it this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
it
I
doesn't feel
understand
forced.
why she would fall for him this time, where the first time I was like, what the heck? Why is this happening?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. He was much more believable as a good guy character.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he did that was quote unquote negative was to a jerk character or someone he needed to present a certain way to, like when he was talking to the cops or whatever it may have been. But nothing he did was like out of line or made you think less of him, even in the beginning, even with the cuckoo psychic people, because he cleans it up at the end and he's like, what was that? And he's like, that was the best we can do. And I forget what he's like, I don't believe in this. Like, I know I'm not psychic.
Yeah.
They should know they're not psychic.
It didn't feel like he was, like, in some ways he's still taking advantage.
Right.
But in way
it did feel like he was taken off guard by them.
Yeah. Like, before he was taking advantage of his psychic studies to sleep with college girls.
Right.
In this one, it was just like he's taking advantage of it to have a show.
Right.
But he's not. He doesn't seem sleazy.
Which we, as millennials, may be desensitized a little bit, because what he did is exactly what reality TV and all that became.
Right.
Ghost hunters, all those paranormal shows.
Yeah.
Like, we have to have the honest conversation, be like, you guys know it's BS. We know it's BS. You know it's BS. I love the South Park where they made fun of that, and he's like, I'm feeling a paranormal presence. I think it's peeing in my pants right now. But I wanted to talk about that because there's a couple things in that scene that are very funny to me. One, Kevin Dunn plays that hilariously. Kevin Dunn is the guy who's like, I have a psychic premonition.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray makes like an objectively good point of like, why'd you make it for the end of this year? Like, and you released a book. You're not going to see anything from that. Like, it was a good question. And then how Kevin Dunn, he's like, I've had a very strong psychic feeling, whatever the line is. But how he like puts his tongue to his teeth, I died. I was laughing so hard because I just never observed him in that way. And it's so over the top that it's believable.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's believable in the sense of, oh, this guy really thinks that this is what he's experiencing.
Yeah. I just wrote a note, Kevin Dunn, unsung hero. And then also the lady, which the thing that took me off from that was that the alien visited her in the Holiday Inn bar. And I was just like, guys, everyone, in the year 2025, we live in a world where it used to be the case where people would socialize at the bars at like Holiday Inns as like a normal thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's where they would go meet and hang out. That was the sports bar. And it's just so crazy to think about that and go, I don't think we'll ever live in a world where that's going to be the case anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's still true. Maybe that's still true in smaller towns. But I don't think it's as normal, because that's always been the joke.
Right.
Like, I feel like that joke pops up a lot in the 80s and 90s of where particular bars are, where it seems like people are hanging out. And it's like, well, why are you going there?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just roll through it. I thought the judge thing was really interesting. Because it kind of took that like black and white thing. I just saw someone talking about objectivism, which is this idea of there is good and evil and there's no gray in between. So like, if there's a person who steals food to help their family. It's Les Mis.
Right.
Steals food to save their family. They stole food. It doesn't matter what the reason that made them in that situation. That doesn't matter. They're always bad for stealing.
Mm-hmm.
And this judge is just living that out. And he is just saying, like, these guys are criminal to society. He is saying that if he had his choice, they would be burned at the stake.
Right.
And I was just like, this little psychotic outburst, I don't think is court etiquette. Maybe I'm wrong. I do like that they got, why am I blanking? Tully. What's his name? Lewis to be their lawyer. I thought that was a nice touch, especially because he was saying, like, I don't do this. I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
But I will admit fully, I spent 30 years thinking this movie said something that it didn't say. So when Lewis first gives his argument, and he was like, he's talking so fast.
Yeah.
So I thought he said, so the black guy was a problem for everyone, but they did this, this, and this, and this. And it wasn't until this viewing that I was like, oh, he says blackout. He's saying blackout. So the blackout was a problem for everyone. I was always so confused because I was like, is he being like outright racist, or is he calling society racist? Like, what? It was a problem to have Winston? I don't understand. That line always confused the heck out of me. And then this time around, I just heard it and I was like, oh.
Talking about the blackout that they caused.
Oh, that makes so much more sense. Wow. What an idiot. Yeah. So that was my stupidity.
Yeah. I thought Lewis was a more enjoyable character he was fun in the last one, but he was kind of a weird, like, he kept bothering Dana kind of thing. In this one, he was just kind of the weird guy that hung out.
He was a weird doofus.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Dana is just the mark of fashion. Like every outfit she has, I'm like, that's a good outfit. That would still work today. Oh, that's a good outfit. That would still work today. Oh, that's a good outfit. That would still work today. I still think Winston was relegated to token black guy.
Yeah.
But he had some really good lines.
Yeah.
Like
he did.
he was the one who delivered the punchlines. That I thought were really funny. He's still relegated and it sucks. Like he shouldn't have been. There's so much potential there.
They give you hope because he is one of the first Ghostbusters you see in this movie.
Yeah.
It's him and Ray. And you're like, great, he's going to be in it more. And then he disappears for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of comes back when they
need him
are
to.
back in business.
When the photo room catches fire and they need someone to save the day. Yeah. Winston. Savior Winston. Yeah, they did not.
I think we said it in the last one, and I'll say it again. He deserved better.
Oh, yes. He deserved much better. Zanu or Janusz? How do you say his name? Janusz. It's Janusz. Wow. What a piece of dirt. Like, Every time he talked, I was like, I'd love to punch that guy in the face. Peter McNichol, he did a great job. I do love the joke. Where are you from? The Upper West Side. Like that's a solid joke. Mean? It's like you have a really ambiguous accent. Where are you from? New York? Like that is a solid joke.
Yeah. There was definitely, you could see the influence from the cartoon.
Yes.
Affecting this one for sure.
With Janine Melnitz. Mm-hmm. She looked just like her cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
Which was kind of good in a way. It gave her like a vibe unto herself.
Yeah, it gave her a kind of a uniqueness where before she was just kind of generic secretary person.
Yeah, this one she was her own kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I liked that change. That was a good change. Also the reason why Slimer was in the film was
and given a name.
Right. Was to placate the cartoon fans.
Yeah.
Also just the weird Lewis Slimer relationship where he opens the bus and he's like, "Oh, it's you.
It's you. I didn't know you had your license." And then he gets on.
I know. He put a lot of trust in that Slimer.
But yeah, you mentioned it before, but this movie had some scary imagery. Like it didn't have a lot. I think there was the quantity of scary imagery was more in the first one just because there were more ghosts.
Right.
In this one, the quality of the scary imagery was pretty intense. Not quality as in like the graphics or like the effects or anything, but like they're in the subway.
Almost like rating of scariness.
Yeah, like they're in there and then they hear the voice say Winston. And then the heads on spikes show up and I was like, that's creepy.
Yeah. But also a great moment. They were able to intertwine jokes into it so well.
Mm-hmm.
But just you have the ghost train. He's like, Did you get the cart number? And he's like, I missed it. Or I must have missed it or something like that. Like it's just very good. And then the heads on the stakes. I was wondering about that because I wondered if it was specific to something they were trying to achieve within the aspect of whatever was happening in the underground tunnels, or if it was something to do with Vigo.
I think it would probably have to do with Vigo, given what they've talked about.
And I was thinking that, and I was like, I feel like this is Vigo warning them of like, this is what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Which, having that mentality kind of made that scene a little scarier.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went right to lighthearted again.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, I was really disappointed with the like opening sequence of this movie.
With
the first movie, you have
with the bassinet.
Yeah, with the bassinet. In the first movie, you have the library and like the ghost, and it's like scary and it's good and it's really intriguing. This one was just kind of like, oh, here's Dana and she has a baby, and then the baby rolls away and she just stares at it like, oh no, my baby's rolling away, before she does anything. and then like Ghostbusters 2.
Right. I see what you're saying.
If they had done, even if they had done like the the with Ray and Winston doing the party. So we're starting with seeing the Ghostbusters and seeing where they're at. And then we see that happen to Dana. I think that would have been a more intriguing introduction to the movie.
Right.
But the fact that they just show kind of this like, wait, what? I'm not super invested in the fact that this baby just rolled away, but I'm invested because it's Dana. But
right.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I did make note of they seem to emphasize the people walking on the sidewalk being rude to each other, being mean to each other, and like
bumping into each other.
You can kind of just relegate that to I'm walking. It's New York City, you know, like whatever it might be. But I do think they were trying to emphasize that. Mm-hmm. I think what would have been good, maybe, following what your idea was, but some way trying to emphasize that the ooze is why the ooze did that makes no sense. That's kind of the biggest problem. The ooze took this bassinet for a stroll, but did avoid danger.
Mm-hmm.
I would have assumed that it would have tried to hurt Oscar, but it didn't. It avoided danger at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So it was genuinely like, why did it do that?
Yeah, I almost didn't recognize that it was the ooze doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's not super clear what's happening. And I think even so, if that happened after we met Vigo and Vigo expresses that he wants the child, and then that was like the first thing that happens to Dana after that, then there's Vigo is somehow using the power to steal the baby. But in this moment, like, Vigo has no idea who she is and has no idea that she has a baby. And so is the ooze just doing that to all babies in New York? Or like, when I was watching, it's like, oh, there's just some random ghost like playing a prank on her or something.
Which that's what it feels like, but that's not ultimately what the ooze was.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, like, as we're talking about this, I'm wondering if it would have been a good idea to start the movie with the museum and you introduce that Dana has a new job and she's cleaning and whatever.
And she has the comment
you skip Janusz, you skip all of that because you can kind of reintroduce that again.
Oh, right.
But you can just have her like cleaning, and then they bring this new picture up, this new picture. I sound like a poor person.
This really big picture.
A coloring book, and Dana could look at it and get like a really bad feeling about it, and then do the whole smiling thing where it like smiles at her and she misses it. And then she goes up close to it and it does maybe like the little eyes thing and she doesn't really like believe it. So she starts walking away and then the face comes out to kind of like show that. And then it's the Ghostbusters 2. Because then you have something like clearly supernatural happening. We're reintroduced to Dana. We already have like, we're like, oh, she doesn't work in the orchestra anymore. Like she's doing something else. Oh, what's happening here? You're immediately introduced to Vigo. And it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah. And that would be an interesting and almost equal to the opening of the other one,
right?
Where this one, it just like, I don't know. It's interesting that they I think that would have explained more. It kind of felt like they just didn't know where to
I
start
don't think
the
they
movie,
knew where to start the movie, and they were
and
like, "What if we just had a bassinet that just drove itself?"
Well, and they were basically just following the same footsteps of they acted as if we don't know that ghosts exist in the world kind of thing. In the same way,
right.
In the first movie, Dana buys groceries. She goes home, drops off groceries, and her eggs explode or whatever. And we're like, what is happening? In this one, she has just gone to the grocery store and a ghost steals her baby. Right. But like, I don't know. If they could have introduced a paranormal thing that was more obvious,
right,
from the beginning, because they don't have to reintroduce that stuff to us,
right. Which that's where I think that painting interaction could have been a good start. It's also funny that they never made the joke. Like Winston could have just like leaned over to Ray and been like, I don't want to be rude, but is this a Dana thing? Like, is Dana the problem? Because this seems to happen a lot to her specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray would be like, I try not to think about it. That would have been a good joke. That would have worked.
That would have been great.
Anyway, let's talk about some things that maybe we weren't quite a fan of since we were kind of on this page. So like the intro, the cold opening to the film, lackluster. Again, some of the graphics were just not up to snuff as they were previously. It felt like the first one was really breaking grounds with a lot of what they were doing. And this one really felt like they were just kind of putting pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
So it left a lot to be desired. Was that really
we said it once already, but just bummed about Winston again.
Yeah. That is, this guy, he's such a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
He's way more charming than the others.
Yep.
And he gets shortchanged every time.
I know that they needed, what's his name?
Hardmayer.
Hardmayer?
I think it would be Hardmayer.
Kurt Fuller. His character.
Hardmayer is such a stupid name. I didn't realize that was his name. That's such a stupid name.
Hardemeyer?
Anyway. Either Hardemeyer or Hardemeyer.
Maybe Hardemeyer.
Still dumb.
I know they needed some sort of antagonist from the government kind of preventing them from doing what they're doing, but he just kind of felt like thrown in there.
Yeah. He felt like a putz.
Mm-hmm.
Lackluster. He just... One, I can't imagine that he actually had that much power.
Right. Like, I can believe the power of that the guy had from the first one, because he's coming from the Department of
he was an EPA
blah, blah, blah.
agent. Like he came in with the same kind of gravitas power as like an FBI agent.
Mm-hmm. But Hardemeyer was like, hey, assistant. The mayor is running for governor, so get out of here.
I don't actually know what his job was. Was he just the like chief of staff for the mayor?
PR guy, or
I don't. Yeah, I don't. How in the world he had the ability to commit 4 grown men to a psychiatric hospital
right.
in the mode, method, and means that he did? That made no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
With like Bill Murray, when the guy's like, what do you think of this ooze? And he's like, don't talk to me. These guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just don't understand how this random guy just somehow commits 4 people to a psychiatric hospital. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's a weird one. If he had
And
just
even
thrown him
how
in
he
prison,
got
maybe.
and even how he got fired, I was just like, we still don't know what this guy does.
Well, he doesn't do it anymore.
Right. But
That's
it was
for
just,
sure.
it was, if the mayor would have been, how is that your job?
Mm-hmm.
How? You're fired. You know?
Yeah.
I liked the mayor less. He seemed very dumb. He seemed to have not learned anything.
Yeah.
He saw it all happen. And it took him talking to the ghost of LaGuardia for 4 hours or whatever to then be like, yeah, maybe the Ghostbusters were right.
Yeah. It's weird to me that they, like, everybody came after them after only the events of the previous movie. If there was like something else that had happened and they're like, oh yeah, that one thing that happened, and then like we really messed that one up and everybody sued us, like that would make sense. But the end of the last movie suggests that everybody is super happy with them because they saved the day and everybody saw them do it.
Well, here's I was thinking about that. I truly was thinking about that. And I might think that only the people in or around Midtown
Saw that happen.
saw the first thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
This one seems like it was out in the docks, like it was hitting the Bronx a bit. There were clouds over South Manhattan, North Manhattan. Like, it seemed to have been reaching the whole of New York City, not just Midtown Manhattan.
That one was the first one.
That's the only like grace I'm kind of giving it. Of there could have been 500,000 people who saw what happened. But those 500,000 people could still be crazy.
Yeah.
In the eyes of 5 years.
The mayor who knew what was happening wasn't going to vouch for them.
And I think City Hall is in Midtown, so like he would have seen it.
He saw it. He's the one who's like, you guys need to fix this problem. And so like
I think
when all of those lawsuits come in or whatever, he could have been like, hey. But he could have also been covering his own butt.
Right.
He could have been like, oh, okay, well, I didn't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah. I don't know anything. Yeah, that's
politicians.
Because it seemed like his office could see into Central Park. And I'm pretty sure Dana's first apartment was off Central Park. And so he definitely saw it happen. He could have seen it from his office.
Yeah.
And yet somehow he's like, well, I'm going to wipe my hands of this. Gonna wipe my hands of this. Gonna say I didn't see anything and I didn't give the okay. They gave military escort. That had to have been a federal thing.
Right.
I don't know. I can totally see how they would have gotten sued in a way that would have made them defunct. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's
there's
whole
also
thing
a
of
lot.
like that people could have argued like, oh, none of this would have happened if it wasn't for you guys, and then blah blah blah, and then they would have had no way of proving that like, no, this was bound to happen no matter what. Yeah. Mostly because the events were set in motion because the EPA guy shut off the thing and it exploded all the ghosts everywhere. Anyway, whatever. I think most of my issues with this one are more about how the movie feels kind of pieced together.
Yeah.
And like anything that falls apart is mostly within that. But strangely, somehow the characters and the jokes ended up being better.
And carry it. Around. They carry it.
Yeah.
It carries way better as a comedy than the previous one.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'll say. and I think this might define its issues as well. The first one didn't know exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Aykroyd, paranormal fan, wanted to write this paranormal movie, whether it had the horror aspect or not. But they didn't know when it was a horror movie and when it wasn't.
Right.
They didn't know when it was a comedy and when it wasn't. And they didn't know when it was a drama and when it wasn't. They just wrote the movie, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up being all of those things at moments.
Mm-hmm.
This one knew exactly what it was.
Right.
And to its detriment, it knew itself too well. But to its success, it knew it wanted to be more of a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And it nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's really funny.
Yeah. I think if the effects that went into the first one and like a couple of other things were just pulled together a little bit more for this one, this movie could have easily been better than the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think the plot is clever.
Mm-hmm.
I think the slime is kind of weird, whatever, but I think the concept of why that slime is happening is a very intriguing concept.
Yeah.
I think Vigo as a villain is a kind of a cool villain because he's just a guy, really.
Yeah.
But he's just like, if you took all the evil in the world and put it into one person, that's what Vigo is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, that's a good villain.
Yeah.
And the pacing is really good in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing is so good. And in the first one, I think one of the things we talked about, pacing's rough.
Yeah.
Pacing's rough in the first one. And the pacing's really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it just fell short with the graphics, and ultimately some of the plot just didn't.
Yeah. Every stage could have used a little bit more time.
And they just didn't have it.
The script, the editing, the pacing, like all of it, the effects, like all of that could have just used a little bit more time, and this movie could have
Rocked.
been one of the few sequels to outperform.
Yeah.
In all ways.
Yeah. Which this one
predecessor.
sadly just outperforms in comedy, which thankful. I think I remember these jokes way more than I remember the first one's jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the ghost catching montage is much better in this one. At least more humorous.
Mm-hmm.
Like catching the jogger.
Which that guy wasn't doing anything wrong. He's just trying to set a personal best.
But he was like pushing people out of the way. He was not respecting the rules of the road.
They were jumping out of the way because they were scared by just some guy who's jogging here.
Hey, no, I disagree.
Okay.
The little laser thing in the crystal shop, that was actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I give it credit. Now I'm blanking. I don't remember what other ones there were. Anyway, anything else on that realm of things you didn't like, things you may have liked, whatever it might have been?
No, I mean,
I'm going to try something a little different for 2025.
Go
This is going to be a kick in the nuts for you because I'm asking you right now. I did not ask you prior, which I should have.
Oh boy.
Do you have a favorite scene?
A favorite scene? Sometimes I do have a favorite scene. I don't. There's not one jumping to the top of my mind right now.
I'll start first.
Go for it.
I actually genuinely love the scene where Egon and Ray are explaining the ooze to Peter and Winston, and then they eventually get to the toaster. But that whole scene is very funny to me Everything about it, he explains it when they're yelling at it, and Ray's really yelling, and Winston's like, hey, hey, hey. And then we also do positive things. We sing to it. We talk to it. He's like, you're not sleeping with it, are you, Ray? And then he looks at Egon, and Egon's very shamed. And then it just makes you go, what is Egon doing with that ooze? Ew.
Gross.
And then the toaster scene. The effect was cheap, but I thought the mixture of the very upbeat music and the sound effect, the pinging, and then Peter like finishing it off with like, everyone's gonna love this. And then Winston is like, until it bites someone's finger off.
Yeah.
And then he like, ah! That is just a well-written scene from top to bottom.
And I think it really highlights each character's personality and like what they're about.
Everyone feels featured. From Winston, even Winston feels featured. Ray gets a bit, Egon gets a bit, Peter gets a bit. And it feels the most like, this is the gang.
This is the ensemble. Yeah. This is the team.
I guess it is very much that this is the scene that we should have more of in both movies.
Mm-hmm.
We need more of this in all of them.
Yeah.
Now,
agreed.
I guess that is the perfect Busters scene where it features all four. They all have their moments. It's funny. It's still talking about the paranormal and all of that good stuff. But there's also just a great deal of lightheartedness, even though it's very weird and very, whatever it is. That's what it should always be.
It's very rare that all four of them are actually in the same scene together. That's not the climax of the movie.
Right. Which I think that's also why maybe it's that desire to have Winston included more. Mm-hmm. This felt intentionally like Winston's a part of the team.
Yeah.
Because they could have done that exact same scene with just Peter, Ray, and Egon.
Yeah.
And in the first movie, they probably would have.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was all four of them featured, and it really was, a team. Yeah. So that's my favorite scene. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if it's like my favorite scene, but the scene that I thought of is when they get when the ghosts come out of the goo in the courtroom.
Uh-huh.
And the judge tells them, like, fine, I resolve you of anything, like, just to go do your job kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then they all put on their proton packs as if it's like, yeah, we're back. And they all look really proud to do it. And Peter powers his up and Doe. And then Ray. And then Egon says, Egon. And he just has this smirk on his face where he doesn't make jokes very often.
No.
But he was really proud of himself.
Right.
For doing that thing. And I think that was a good we're back moment.
Yeah. That was
for all of them.
That was solid. Now I'm confused. Wasn't Winston at the courtroom?
He was there, but he was not.
He wasn't on trial.
He wasn't on trial, but he was there.
It makes me feel like he left early or something.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see him in the group of people running out. So I feel like court started and he's like,
I'm out.
I'm going to go. If you guys are getting arrested, I'm getting out of here. I'm just saying that right now.
Because he actually said something to them.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again was one of those wait, why wasn't Winston with you when you were digging? Like, what is that?
Where was he? Yeah.
Where was he? Did he have paid family time? What happened? That scene's the court scene has its moments. It's a great feature for Lewis. But when he says, Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Sure, the blackout was a big problem for everyone. I was trapped in an elevator for 2 hours and I had to make the whole time. But I don't blame them because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then Egon, very good, Lewis. Short, but pointless.
I turned into a dog and they helped me.
Oh, man. There was also a joke when they were looking at Dana's apartment and they checked out Oscar and then they went to the room and they're figuring out the room and then Peter joins them later and Peter's like, what do you think? And Egon's like, I'd like to run some gynecological tests on the mother. And Peter goes, who wouldn't? I never caught that joke. I honestly did not catch that joke. And then now in the context, I was like, I get it now. I had no idea what he was saying. Who wouldn't? Because apparently I didn't know what a gynecologist was the last time I watched this movie.
The line is stupid, but the delivery that the kid gives at the beginning where they're at the birthday party and they walk in and like, it's the Ghostbusters. And he's just like, I thought I was going to be He-Man. It's such bad acting, which makes it really funny.
Yeah, it's really good. I like that. That one's solid. When Peter first meets Oscar, and he very quickly says, oh, no, he's named after a hot dog. I thought that was great. I also enjoy Dana says, okay, but after dinner, don't put any of those old cheap moves on me. It's different now. And then Peter goes, oh, no, I have all new cheap moves.
When Peter was doing his interview with the psychics at the beginning and he's talking to the lady and she's like, I saw a vision that the world was going to end on February 14th. And he was like, Valentine's Day. Bummer.
Yeah. All that scene is actually really funny because I think it emphasizes that Peter knows as far as like this psychic stuff that he's a fraud. Mm-hmm. And he embraces it. And I don't think that he denies that he's a fraud. Mm-hmm. You know? Speaking of which, I do like when he meets the security guard, he's like, Dr. Venkman, World of the Psychics. It's one of my 2 favorite shows. And then they talk, and then before he leaves, he's like, oh, what's the other show? Bassmasters. It's a fishing show. He's like, I know what Bassmasters is.
Seems almost disappointed that.
Yeah, that's exactly what the joke is. He's disappointed. He's like mad about it. He's like, I know what Bassmasters is. Oh man.
When we are introduced to Janusz and he's just walking through the museum and looking at everybody, telling them to be careful or whatever.
The first person.
And the first person, he says, everything you're doing is bad. I want you to know this.
I never noticed her acting on it, but he says that and she's just like, she's just like, her reaction is clearly, I got to deal with this guy for 4 more months and then I'm done,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Wait,
I did like so what happened to Mr. Wright? I heard he ditched you and went on to Europe. He did not ditch me. We had some problems and he got a good offer from the orchestra in London and he took it. So he ditched you.
When I don't remember when it happened, but Ray asks Venkman if he's like, what, you didn't have any toys? We had part of a slinky, but I straightened it.
Yeah, that's so good. He only shows up a little bit, but Cheech Marin is in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's the he's the dock supervisor who sees the Titanic, and when he turns to his friend, he's like, "Huh? Better late than never." Okay. Did this movie invent like man housing as far as when he talks about his laundry? I was like, is that how it always was? Because I feel like this is how men think of clothes today.
Mhm.
But I don't know if there was a starting point. Did that start before this? He's like, I have more than 2 grades of laundry, okay? There's not just clean and dirty. There's a manly subtle levels. Okay, see? You hang this outside the window for 20 minutes? It's perfectly fine. I believed that for a long time. And then I forgot that I lived in Southern California.
Yeah.
And a pair of shorts that I left out, I forgot about, so it was out for like an hour or two, and they got sun bleached.
Oof.
Which, if you've never had a pair of clothes or any garment get sun bleached, it's quite the experience to just go out and look at a pair of dark gray shorts, and they're white now, and you're like, I wasn't even gone that long.
Yeah. When you have to air dry clothes and your only option is the bright sun.
Right. You got to be careful, man.
You got to be careful with that.
Alrighty. Anything
yeah.
else? Oh, I do like that. No respectful psychic will come on the show now. They all think you're a fraud. I am a fraud. Oh, Venkman, would you get a stool Venkman, would you get a stool? Oh, man, that is a tough line. Venkman, would you get a stool specimen, please? Business or personal? No. Yeah, Janusz as a whole was just an odd character when he was like, not really that it's a funny line or anything, but when he's asking if he can have Dana, and he's like playing with the candle, and it like burns his finger, but he looks at his finger, is like, what did that do? Why did that do that?
Yeah. No, I can't think of any other ones, but there was some good moments in this one.
Yes. Oh, last one. A good one. When the judge scene, he's like, you got to do something. Help me. He's like, don't talk to me. Talk to my attorney. And that's me. My guys are still under them judicial mistransmission order. That blue thing I got from her. They could be exposing themselves. And you don't want us exposing ourselves. That whole, just him mispronouncing it, everything about it. There was another thing that he mispronounced that was very funny.
Yeah, I forgot. That was one that I was like, oh, that one's good.
I will say, just a weird side note real quick. Lewis and, why am I blanking on her name? Janine, yeah. Their relationship, like it wasn't forced. Mm-hmm. It felt like it was like, once they were hanging out, it was suddenly like, oh, you guys have like a lot of repressed sexual tension.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're both weird. And you're both weird. Works.
And I think it'll work for you. Good for you. Good for you. Go chase that dragon of love. You know? All righty. And now it's time for the Review Rewind, where we take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. And these are not the right numbers as far as some of this goes. So hold on. Metacritic. Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Metacritic 56. So not good. Not good. Rotten Tomatoes 55. Audience score 61, and IMDb 6.6.
Wow.
Yeah, people did not like this movie,
People didn't like this one so much.
which is honestly kind of weird because we said our point. Like it had some things that were much stronger than the first one.
Yeah. Oh, I just went back to look at what the Metacritic score is for Ghostbusters, and it's 71. So that's like
This feels way too big a drop.
that's a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if people recognized it as you just did the same movie over again, but I don't know. There's something that is still good about it.
Yeah. It still had those things that it brought to the movie that just wasn't present in the first one or wasn't as present. So it's still good in its own way.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and read the positive review.
Yeah, Variety gave it an 80. Ghostbusters 2 is baby boomer silliness. Kids will be oozing slime and ghastly ghostly apparitions to their sorry, I went with a weird voice. And ghastly ghostly apparitions to their liking. And adults, did I miss a word?
No.
Oh,
It's
kids
just a
will
weird-
find the oozing slime and ghastly, ghostly apparitions to their liking, and adults will enjoy the preposterously clever dialogue.
I want to read it as your first reading. Kids will be oozing slime. and
Yeah,
ghastly
I was
ghostly
like, that
apparitions.
didn't make any sense at all.
I was just like, this is just a theater full of
Kids will be
teenagers
oozing slime.
reaching puberty.
I miss an important word or two in there.
Just millions of 13-year-old boys going.
Just
And girls just going, I think I really like Sigourney Weaver.
no. Okay.
Why are these chairs so wet? Anyway, and adults will enjoy the preposterously, such a stupid word for this, clever dialogue. They could have just said enjoy the clever dialogue and it would have been like, yeah.
Oh, this dialogue is clever. Preposterous. There's no such thing as clever dialogue.
It's also, is that also like a backhanded compliment? It's like, it is impossible for you to have this clever of dialogue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe it. You legends of comedy. I would never would have believed it. Anyway, our negative review has a 38. It is by TV Guide magazine. I got this one specifically because it was TV Guide magazine. Because children, there was a time where there was no internet. And before the internet, people would either write reviews and stuff on in newspapers. But there was also a time where you didn't know when shows were coming out. And so they remedied this with all the networks sending their time slots to this magazine company called TV Guide.
Mm-hmm.
And you could subscribe to this magazine, and then you would always have my grandma subscribed to TV Guides.
Oh, nice.
So whenever we visited her, I would read them because I just thought they were really interesting. So this is
They used to be in hotels as well.
Yeah.
Like you'd have
this is a relic of a review. I think TV Guide as a website still exists. But I think it's just kind of like a standard media website at this point. All right, here we go. Ghostbusters 2 is such a lazy effort that the formula machinery is laid bare for all to see. It suffers from writing that is obvious, sloppy, and unimaginative. I mean, someone got some ooze on their shoes.
Ooh, probably from all those kids. I'm sorry. 38. I don't know if you said that this was a score of 38.
Oh, 38. which feels so freaking low.
That is a
Like,
very low score.
Maybe it's like the optimist in me. I don't know. It's wild to me that someone would go into this movie and not get any jokes, not get any moments of joy.
Mm-hmm.
That song that they used at the end is so good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to me that somehow, what is it? Take me, Ghostbusters 2. And you know what? Maybe it's a plug, whatever it might be. I don't know. I don't know the whole. Oh, geez, that was really loud.
Ooh.
I don't know the whole game, as they say, for when this stuff happens. But, like, sorry, I got lost because I was distracted. As far as, like, product placement, like, is this song product placement? That kind of thing. But I genuinely, when they do the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, higher and higher.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But the reason I say that is because, like, that song is so good, and the process of the Statue of Liberty walking through to that song
Mm-hmm.
is just very good. Like, it's a very fun scene. Let's see if I can do this. Feels like we got a lot of digital distortion there. But that scene, I had a moment where I was like, this is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good idea. If there was a song that could really bring up the morale of a city, this is the perfect song.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you could, like, watch this movie and get to that scene and be like, garbage.
Boring.
What disgusting movie we have here. Anyway, what do you give it?
I think I give it I'm debating between just a regular C or maybe a C minus.
Mine's somewhere around there too. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it a C minus because it's still really funny.
Yeah.
It's still worth watching. I think it complements the first one really well, especially when the first one was written to be a standalone movie. They never had any desire to make a sequel. And I thought they did a decent job. It has its own issues with production and writing and everything, but it seems like that was because they had like an 11-month deadline.
Right.
So if they would have had more time, maybe they would have lucked out a little better. But you know what? I'm gonna go with C. I'm gonna give it a C.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's say C.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Higher and higher. Anyway, I probably shouldn't have done that. I got the pneumonias.
You got the pneumonia.
Anyway, so thanks for listening. We will be back. And I think ultimately we could say we recommend it. Go watch it. Have some fun. Don't watch it with children, though. There's genuinely some pretty scary scenes in this movie. Anyway, I'm Mike.
I'm Tristan.
And listeners, remember to review those rewinds. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.